West to east of test section for GPS 404087. 40A310, which is the thin overlay section on this project. Looking upstream, we're looking out over the end of the controlled maintenance zone, or the typical maintenance zone here for 404087, looking back over towards the city of Altus. Working on around to the north of us is a little country club. Back over a little bit to our west is Altus Air Force Base. Back around, back over here. See, we've got the drill rig here, and we're pulling a core in most of these transition zones, and also one more at the end of the group of test sections we have here. Now we're looking out on the test section itself. See the terrain, it's quite level. We've got this one vertical curve, but it's generally flat, and we're about at grade or in a slight cut right in this area. I would say we're at grade because the ground is sloping downwards to the left as you look on the video. Just finished coring through here. We are about 50 feet upstream of the beginning of test section 40A310, and on this first hole we're going to go ahead and core and then auger down beneath that into the subgrade. On subsequent holes, if the subgrade checks out, as I'm sure it will in this area, since we don't have much variation in soils, we will just simply go through and core on the remaining holes. We've got a real small auger. We don't have any granular base on this. This was selected for GPS 2. This is a material which came out and is still holding on to the auger which was used. See, it's a small sized auger, but what we have is a brown sandy to silty clay, which is what the soil survey information provided to us before is indicating for this. This is material I went ahead and pulled off of the auger, the flights of it, and you can see it's predominantly clay, some plasticity. But it doesn't do a good ball here. When looking out in some of the cultivated fields adjacent to our site, as you move on downstream, it's just more of the same stuff going throughout this entire area. So in my judgment, I don't feel we have a need to go through and auger every hole. We're basically verifying what we thought was here, and we've got some soil survey sheets which go into some detail and include sieve analysis, Atterberg limits, and so on for the subgrade soils during the original site investigation. And as you can see, I had to freehand the A's in there. I didn't have any stencils with a letter on it. At least I didn't have any with me. As we saw in the GPS test section back in April when we came out here and marked it, have not noticed any cracking within the limits of any of these test sections here. This one being just more of the same. The ruts are not as apparent during the dry time, of course, as you can see now, as they were back the other times I've been on this site when it's been raining. But we have noticed what may be some dual tire rutting, particularly in the inside wheel path. David Uten from Oklahoma DOT has got a rut bar with him, and he's going to be taking some rut depth measurements as we go along here. I would estimate we've got around a 2 to 3 foot cut, maybe a little less than that throughout most of this test section. What you see here on the shoulders too, just to point it out, is they went ahead and just essentially painted the shoulders black with asphalt cement, and it's a real sticky sort of surface right now. That's why we went ahead and did all of our painting and markings on the lane itself rather than on the paved shoulder, because we tried it once on this and it just didn't last very long or do very well. We've got a total of 8 SPS3 test sections here. We've got in addition to the GPS, we've got the 5 SPS3s, including a control section here, which is on up ahead, 40 that is. And then we've got 3 supplemental sites. One of the supplemental sites, which the field division in Clinton wanted to do on this, was to fill in the ruts with a blade laid fine asphalt concrete. As a second option, they wanted to fill in with Ralumac, which is a modified slurry seal using latex along with the asphalt emulsion. And the third option was to use a strip seal using a regular chip seal coat through at least only in the wheel pads. At some point we may wish to add some more sections, which should be no problem out here on this site. Very easy area to work in out here. Kind of running through here in a hurry, but there's really not much to talk about on the section itself. As I said before, there's no cracking, and as you can tell, we've been out here marking it several times. Already gone beyond the end of it. We're into the transition area now, where we transition out of the thin overlay and into a slurry seal, which is on up ahead. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and walk up and video the slurry seal area, which won't be a whole lot different than what we've just seen. Conditions on this test section are about as uniform as they can get, and this is in really pretty good condition for applying some of these treatments. As you'll see when we get to the crack seal treatment, there aren't any cracks there to seal.